Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy and I'm happy to welcome you here to my channel where we talk about everything related to frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this kind of content and that you'll consider subscribing. Today is time for another Wednesday One Take, and this is gonna be a rip-roaring, exciting topic for me. It's all about fear of change. Change is scary, and I want to tell you some things that I'm scared of, things that I wish wouldn't change. I want to start by quoting a really old comedy routine. You'll remember when Roseanne, in whatever her incarnation she is now, back in the day, back in the 80s when she was real young and touring as Roseanne Barr, she had this comedy routine where she talked about being a housewife. And one of the things she said was, "You try staring a 30-year mortgage in the face, you skydiving wimps." Anyway, she delivered the line a lot better than I did. But the point of it was there's risk and there's an element of fear in a lot of what we do. And one of the things that I would like to do over the next 2 to 5 years is make some pretty significant changes in how I live my life. And I've referred to some of those in past videos, so feel free to browse the catalog and see what I've talked about. But one of the major things that I would like to do is move. I would like to become a traveler. And so I would like to sell the house that I currently live in, lovely though it is, and find a home base from which I can operate, an apartment or a condo or something, or even do what some location-independent people do, which is to go get Airbnbs for 3 to 9 months and live there for a while, and then you go somewhere else, and then you don't even have to have your own furniture. That second one sounds fantastic to me. In fact, it makes my face hurt from smiling just thinking about it. But I'm also pretty terrified. And when I think about putting my house on the market, I get this clenching in my gut and I feel so scared and I think, what's gonna happen? I'll just stay here. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll just take trips every so often. It'll be fine. Now, never mind that I have been dreaming of becoming a traveler for about 10 years now. The whole time I've been raising my children. And I'm so excited about this that I sometimes can't sleep at night. I'm terrified of it too. And so that's one thing that I'm afraid of. Another thing that I'm afraid of, and this is a hard one to admit, since I started a YouTube channel about money, I'm afraid of becoming fully financially solvent. And there was a comment in a recent video that I completely identified with, and I don't remember which video it was, so I'm just going to give the comment. This was talking about frugality in some context, obviously, since it's this channel. And a commenter described a scenario where a person that they knew had just learned that they were going to lose their job. And in response, the person who was just going to lose their job went out and bought an expensive motorcycle. And I went, yeah, I completely understand that mindset. I completely get where that person was coming from. It makes no sense. It's a terrible decision to make. The worst thing in the world you can do when you find out you're just about to lose your job is buy an expensive motorcycle. You don't need a new toy. You need to be looking for a job. But that fear of financial solvency, I don't know where that comes from, but I see myself self-sabotaging. And in a video that's coming up probably in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about how that relates to some things that I'm going through financially right now. Having experienced some successes with this channel keeping me accountable and with my new cash envelope system, which is wonderful, I've come across some unexpected bills, things that I just haven't had time to save up an emergency fund for yet because I'm just starting. And in response to getting these bills, instead of thinking, how can I up my side hustle game so I can pay these off and not go into debt, I promptly went to Starbucks. Now, I didn't buy a motorcycle, but I just learned that I needed more money, and so I went out and spent some. So I completely understand that mindset. I can't really explain it, but there's this sort of fear of financial solvency deep rooted in there somewhere, afraid that if I sort of tell the gods of money that I have enough, that they're going to hammer me with some big bill or something terrible is going to happen. It's sort of a lack of trust in, I don't know, the process of earning, keeping, and spending money. I don't really know where it comes from. I could probably use a little therapy around that, but it's a big fear that I have. I look forward to exploring that more as I go along, but that's where I am right now. Now, another fear that I have is just a general fear of getting what I want. And you know that old Spice Girls song, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Well, I have been asking for what I really want in several different contexts in my life in the last several months, and it's been a powerful thing. But this goes back to the first fear that I have, is just general fear of change and fear of making things happen in the traveling realm. Well, in other parts of my life, that fear pops up as well. And the fear that I have is that I am not being careful enough about how I'm making the transition. And that if I am not careful enough, that suddenly, and not miraculously, but whatever the opposite of miraculous is, cursedly, I will just lose everything. So I think behind all of these fears that I've talked about, fear of actually making my traveling dream come true, fear of becoming financially solvent, and it's not that obviously you can see I'm not in terrible financial shape, but of becoming truly financially solvent in a way that I can feel that I'm financially solvent. And then this third one, just sort of general fear of getting what I want. There's this sort of deep-rooted sense of, I don't even know exactly how to describe it, like, I don't want to be noticed by some universal entity that's then going to say, I'm sorry, you've had too much good stuff, time for a curse. So I'm not sure where that comes from culturally or psychologically, but I think it's important to recognize, as you're listening to this, you may be going, my God, she's crazy. Or you may be going, you know, I have a particular fear as well, and here's what it is. If you'd like to tell me what your particular fear is, and it could be something that you have overcome, you know, something you used to be afraid of, but the steps that you took to overcome it have helped you to get past it. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Now, I also want to tell you what I am doing to overcome the fear. One thing that I'm doing is talking here so that I can identify exactly what that fear is. And then so I can sort of step back. In a recent video, I talked about metacognition, a concept that I learned from Paula Pant. And this idea of stepping back from what you're thinking to think about how you are thinking is really powerful. And it helps me to just step back and talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm afraid to sell my house and travel. Okay. And suddenly that takes away a piece of the fear. The other thing is that I am actually asking myself to step forward and do the thing. So as I go up to the edge, so to speak, of the change, and I go, oh my gosh, should I really do it? Can I really do it? Is this really a good thing? I'm asking myself to go ahead and take that step into the new experience. You know, it's scary, and I have to sort of pat myself on the back and give myself a little hug and say, it's scary, and you're gonna do it. And it's scary, and you're gonna do it. And it's scary, and you're gonna do it. That may be my motto for the rest of the decade of the 50s. For me, I don't know. It's scary, and you're gonna do it. But I like the way it feels when I say it out loud. I like the way it feels when I go with the motion of it. And I hope that it will work. Stay tuned to find out, because I'm loving YouTube, so I'm gonna stick around and keep you updated. If you like this kind of content, talking about frugal living, minimal living, and in this case, very intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman, I hope that you'll click subscribe. I hope that you'll give this video a like and hit the notifications bell so you'll be notified first of new and exciting videos as I keep feeling the fear and stepping into it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.